everybody. Welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your site for learning classic rock and pop songs on this lovely little 8-string instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and today we're going to be talking a little baseball. All right, maybe I can ditch the cap. But we're going to be talking about a baseball-themed song called Centerfield from CCR legend John Fogerty. This one was the title track from his comeback album in the mid-1980s. Really great record with some cool songs on it where he played all of the instruments. And this song, Centerfield, is one of the centerpieces of that album. It's a really fun song, and the mandolin, well, you can play the mandolin to the guitar parts really easily because the song is in the key of G. Some of those little licks from the guitar part that he played work really well on this instrument. So I will show you all of those parts and all of the chords to this song, which is quite simple and quite fun to play, coming up in this video. But first, a little bit of business here. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for checking us out. But don't forget to hit that subscriber button, that little red tab down there in the lower right corner on your way out. Also, leave us a like if you like this video. If you are a returning subscriber, you can also like us down below. And please check out our Patreon and Amazon links down below in the comments as well. Some cool new things being offered on my Patreon site. You might want to check that out, including a chance to do monthly live mandolin jam sessions with me. That's a new thing I've introduced over on Patreon, so check it out. The link is down below. But that's enough news and business talk here on RPM. Let's take a look at this song by John Fogerty called Centerfield, coming up on Rock and Pop Mandolin. Okay, let's start with that cool opening lick to this song, Centerfield. It goes... All right, so what am I doing there? Well, first off, I'm doing all downstrokes. You don't have to. You could do up and down strokes if you like. But I find the attack on this lick works really nicely if you hit it with downstrokes. Like, you see I'm hitting it all with downstrokes there. That takes a bit of practice if you're new to the mandolin. And the downstrokes will give your sound a little bit more, well, it'll just sound a little more full than doing up and down strokes like... Sure, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think it just sounds better when you kind of attack it with that all downstroke approach. So what are the notes there? Well, the notes are open G, 2nd fret on the G, 4th fret, 5th fret to start with. So, all right. And you're actually walking up to a C chord from a G, right? That's a C note there, right? So open, 2, 4, open. Okay, and after you get to the C, you go to the next string, 2nd and 5th fret. So like this. There, all right? Again, you're covering notes in the C arpeggio now, so... Right, and then you shift to a D chord. All right, and while you're not actually playing the chord here, you're playing the licks or the arpeggio, right? So you're going open D note and then 4th to 7. So one more time. You see how that works? So from the C, all right, so like that. So one more time, I'll go through those notes slowly. Open, 2, 4, 5, 2, 5, open, 4, 7. So, and then you end up on the G note, right? Okay? So that's 5th fret, open A, and then 5th fret D again. So the entire pattern goes... And you end up on a D note there. The open D, that's the final note in the pattern. So you see how that goes from the high D to the octave lower. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Like that. One more time. And, you know, you want to practice it so you can get it to a speed like... right? That's the way, that's probably close to the speed that John Fogerty plays it in the original track. Okay, so after you go a few times, then there's a little chord progression that goes to a G chord. All right, so what are those chords? Well, it's a C chord on the mandolin. I'm playing the chords on the mandolin. The guitar chords are slightly different, I think, so I'm just going to show you the simplified ones here on the mando. So after you do, it's C, right, your basic C chord, 2nd fret here on the D string and 3rd fret on the A. Then I'm doing kind of a partial chord here, right? I'm just doing the 2nd fret of the A string and the open D, right? So like that, okay? And here I'm using my thumb to kind of stop the G's from ringing out. So, and then I'm going to an A minor chord, this voicing here, from the 5th fret of the G string and the 2nd fret of the D, right? That one there, right? So, and then to a D chord. And then into the main part of the song. So one more time, the opening with that little chord progression. Just up and down and strumming there. And then into the verses. Okay, I'm going to show you something a little cool that you can do on the mandolin that kind of replicates what John Fogerty is doing on the guitar. If you are a guitar player, you know that sort of the little bluesy sort of pattern that you can play. Put a bar chord and you use your little pinky finger there like that. Well, you can do that sort of thing on the mandolin as well, and you can do that in this song. And watch what I'm doing here. It goes. That's sort of the strumming pattern that John Fogerty is using in this song in the verses, actually all throughout the song. Okay, so the chords in the verses are okay, the chords in the verses go like this. G, watching it from the bed, took some lumps when the mighty Casey struck out. Okay, so what's he doing there? Well, he's doing that little bluesy pattern. And you know, you could do it like this. Instead of holding the G chord like this with the 2nd fret here and the 3rd fret, use this finger here, A string 2nd fret. Don't worry about this E string right now, just there. And then that frees up your pointer finger to do that little bluesy thing there, okay? So that I'm doing on the D string, open D to 2nd fret D, all right? And I'm kind of palm muting on the right hand here down at the bridge of the mandolin. And palm muting is, if you don't know what it is, it's putting your palm down on the edge of the strings to sort of deaden them like that, all right? It's called palm muting, and we can do that. It's really effective in this song and on this little bluesy lick. So it's like... You see the difference there? If I was just hitting it open, it just sounds too, well, it just sounds messy, right? So let's do a little palm muting here, and that replicates what John Fogerty's doing in the song on his guitar, like this. Like that, okay? So what am I doing there? Well, again, I'm just holding that 2nd fret here of the A, and I'm just strumming. I'm just adding that 2nd note there, sort of every other beat. You can practice that yourself. Watching it from the bench, I took some lumps when the mighty Casey struck out. Okay, so when he says mighty Casey in the verse, the first verse, and in the 2nd verse, I forget what he says, that goes to an E minor chord. So you're going G to C, back to G, G, E minor to D. One more time, G, C, G, then C, and D, back to G. All right, so those are the chords for the verses. It's G to C, then G to E minor and D, then G to C, and D. Okay, and then we get to the chorus, put me in, he goes, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Look at me, you gotta be Centerfield. Right, so what are those chords? Well, put me in, coach. That's over that G again. I'm watching. And then still on the G. I'm ready to play today. Look at me, wanna be Centerfield. Right, so those chords are the same chords from that pattern at the beginning of the song. All right, so you go from the G to the C, and then to that second fret chord there, which I guess is a B chord of some kind, right? Right? So just C chord, then that B chord, A minor again to D. Okay, so the chorus is one more time, put me in, coach. And while you're doing that, you make sure that you hit that low G note, all right? That's the key note in this pattern when you're doing that little bluesy lick. So put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Right? All right, so that little pattern is played all throughout the song, and you want to just practice that again. Lock down that second fret of the A, and then just basically strumming those three strings right there, with particular emphasis on the G, and then that little hammered note there. Like that. Okay, and the only other part that you really might want to add is that cool little he does a couple of little fills like that throughout the song, coming back from the chorus to the verses, for example, and in between the verse patterns, you can do that. It's just a little hammer on here on the G string from the 3rd fret to the 4th. You can do it like that, or you can just do like that. Either way, doesn't matter. Kind of the first way works really nicely. So that's 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, open. So that's right? So it works over that G. Like that. It works over that G pattern, returning from the D to the G chords. All right, that's it. That is John Fogerty's Centerfield, a really fun song, fairly simple to play, and there's some cool little licks that you can learn, and that little pattern off the top that's really fun to get your fingers around. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you're new here, don't forget, hit that subscriber button on the way out, and give us a like if you like this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thanks very much for checking us out. Check out some other videos on this channel as well. And also have a look perhaps at our Patreon and Amazon links down below. My name is Mike DeJong. Thanks very much for watching RPM.